Hey, let's go to the third slide in this group talking about the ingredients of blockchain. Maybe you can help us kind of understand what your thoughts were on this.
Yeah, you can see our like pyramids. On the lowest level, you have blockchain components. And this is something that's kind of confusing because there are many ingenious people out there who are constantly developing them. And in the very last row, I've seen those, I've listed those consensus algorithms. And, the first one, of course, is proof of work, and many people have misconceptions about it. I got a couple of academic papers and funding applications rejected because the reviewers are saying blockchain uses so much energy. And in fact, I was proposing a private permission solution that doesn't use that much energy, but there's all this confusion around. So there are different ways to reach consensus. Proof of stake you've mentioned in your broadcast, delegated proof of stake, proof of capacity, proof of elapsed time, proof of authority. I could go on. And there are people out there developing new consensus mechanisms right at the moment. And then we have encryption, smart contracts, and all those technical details. There's a lot of going on in the space, but this is under the hood. And for us as business people or anyone in the industry needs to understand the properties that come out of that. So that would be the next layer. So we have shared data access. This is something why blockchain can be so useful for supply chain management, because it enables people or organizations to look at the same data at the same time in real time. We have data that's immutable. We can achieve performance increases. We have better security probably. And these are the features the business people need to understand. And if you get these features, then you can think about the business cases that come out of that. And since the topic of today is the future, I would recommend that everybody who gets into blockchain learns about these features, and then you can be creative. Then you can come up with those future applications.
Yeah, Horst, you've hit exactly on what I've been trying to do in this entire series. Thank you. Maybe we should just end the broadcast right now. Is that what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to tell people is that how do you know what to do if you don't even know what the possibilities are? And so one of the fundamental things that we need to do when we're exploring any new ideas or directions is we need to understand the business case, or not the business case. We need to understand the business challenge that we have. All right. So what's the challenge that we have out there? We need to think about and understand the technology and the possible solutions. And then we can begin to put those things together to create, potential solutions for the future. So understanding our business challenge, understanding what technology might exist out there, and then our brains, we bring these things together, very creatively and innovatively to be able to solve, those problems in the future. So knowing and understanding what the options and alternatives are is a critical part of innovation.
Definitely. You just nailed it. And again, I came up with many of the use cases that we see now about 5 or 6 years ago, and I was not sure if they would work out. Some have worked out, others maybe not yet, but there are so many opportunities out there. Have you ever talked about, for example, blockchain-based insurance?
Yeah, no, we haven't brought it up. We've talked about securities and we've talked about equity and capital fundraising and, but not insurance. No, what are the thoughts on that?
Yeah. Flight insurance, for example, it would be very convenient for me. I'm an infrequent traveler, and it would be very convenient for me to have some kind of flight insurance. And if there is a delay, then I get paid immediately and in cryptocurrency. So I don't want to bother with dealing with insurance companies. And actually, there are solutions out there. Do you know that AXA has made a solution like that, blockchain-based insurance? But they gave it up, I think, in 2019. And do you know that the proverb, the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's really it. And we had this. I had so many companies. Like if you think back on one of the early guests I had on the show, they were with Dubai Air Navigation Services, and they had examined blockchain about, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, and they were trying to look at how they might be able to implement blockchain-based air navigation data. And they basically put things on hold because maybe it wasn't advancing, or the demand wasn't there, or maybe it was too hard. And so that's exactly what you're saying, is that now what we're seeing is we're seeing a resurgence of people interested in looking at these things because technology is advanced and the interest in it is advanced. I mean, is that what you're seeing as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm basically saying. Some use cases are really straightforward. Right from the beginning, we had supply chain management and many people working on that. But what I'm saying with the mouse and the cheese, there were other use cases like flight insurance that were not as straightforward. So some people were trying it out. It didn't work. Not for technical reasons. I think it was the legal side. And we have companies like EtherRisk, and I recently came across a Nigerian company that's, I just need to look up, AeroPay, and apparently they're working on the same solutions. And so that's an opportunity for startups in the field, because apparently the first time it didn't work, but it doesn't mean that it never has to work. And there are many issues to overcome. For example, you also mentioned the Oracle problem in blockchain. So Oracle means data from the outside. So in this case, flight insurance, it's a very straightforward case. Who determines if a plane is late? And that's the Oracle, feeding into information on the blockchain. But again, an opportunity for the future out there. If somebody comes up with a really nice blockchain-based flight insurance where I don't have to deal with insurance companies, but the plane lands and I'm getting paid in cryptocurrency without doing anything, that would be a nice use case.
Yeah, I just think there's so many different possibilities. It's so hard to predict the future, what you just said, early at the beginning of the program.